Sometimes progress is the win. In certain seasons, simply maintaining is a form of success. That's been my main focus lately, just winning the day. I'm not the first to say that, but it's a concept that really resonates with me right now. Bill Ackman once went through a brutal season. He was getting divorced, had just lost $4 billion, and wasn't yet the successful person we know today. He said the hardest part was that there was no single problem he could fix in a day. He couldn't undo the financial loss or resolve the divorce instantly. When you're going through something complex, maybe it's a breakup, a divorce, or your business just isn't working, there are often 10 things that need fixing, and you can't fix any of them quickly. His strategy? Just make some progress every day. It might feel insignificant at first, but after 30 days, you've moved forward. After 90, it starts to feel real. Sure, our mood is still influenced by our circumstances. I'll be honest about that. Ideally, we'd all love to be in a great mood without needing a reason. But sometimes, it's about finding one good thing in the day and letting that be enough to call it a win. If you can do that, maybe you can string together a few good days into a good week and a few good weeks into a good season. I've had to recalibrate how I define a good day. Now, something small can be enough. If one podcast went well, that's the win. And if I keep doing that, maybe a year from now, I'll be able to say, that was a great year. I'm putting a huge amount of discretionary energy into this because I know what could stop me from achieving my long-term goals isn't lack of ability. It's running out of steam. I don't have to work this hard. I choose to because I want to enjoy the ride more. If you want everything, life often gives you nothing. We sacrifice what we have to get what we want, and once we get it, we wish we could get back what we gave up. People often talk about regrets at the end of their lives, but I don't take those at face value anymore. Many regrets come from romanticizing an alternate path without acknowledging its cost. Someone might say, I would give up everything to have more time with family, but they didn't. They chose their path. What they really mean is they wish they could have had both. We want everything, but we don't want to make trades. And success in any domain always requires trade-offs. That understanding has helped me minimize regret. We trade our 20s to set up our 30s. We trade our 30s for success in our 40s. Then we wish we could go back to our 20s. But we forget we were miserable then. We were anxious about money, unsure of ourselves, and constantly comparing ourselves to others. The good old days are always now. We just don't recognize them until they're gone. I've invested a lot of mental energy into not believing that something going wrong means something is wrong. Just because I'm struggling doesn't mean the situation is broken. I've also come to accept that we remember the past better than it was. Science backs this up. Punishment fades faster than reward. That's why we go out drinking again a week after a hangover, or we miss someone toxic after a breakup. The mind holds on to the highs. That's actually kind of encouraging because it means when you look back, you'll mostly remember the good parts. The danger is when that memory makes us resent the present. So I've trained myself to focus on moments, not seasons. I don't remember most of last year because most days were routine. But there were a handful of moments, good or bad, that shaped how I view the entire Sometimes we let 5 bad minutes define a whole season. What if we could flip that? What if we let 5 good minutes redefine a season instead? If everything we do eventually fades, then maybe the most important skill is this: being in a good mood even when you don't have a reason to be. Nobody questions you when you're in a bad mood, so why not allow yourself to be in a good mood for no reason too? Sure, you can list things you're grateful for, but do you need a list? Can't you just choose to feel good? We've all had bad moods without a clear cause. Why not good ones? That's the muscle I've been trying to build, breaking the connection between circumstance and emotion. Can I be happy just because I choose to be? Charlie Munger has this idea: invert, always invert. Instead of asking, how do I grow my business? Ask, how could I destroy it in 5 moves? Then, just do the opposite. That kind of thinking has sparked some of my biggest breakthroughs. Point 1, figure out what you want. Point 2, ignore the opinions of others. Point 3, do so much work it would be unreasonable for you to fail. Point 4, realize none of it matters anyway. Point 5, help others once you get there. My first job after college was awful, but the biggest takeaway was a piece of advice. Figuring out what you want is 99% of the battle. Once you know that, getting it is the easier part. Everything else is just what you're willing to trade to get it. And it's okay to change your mind. What I want today may not be what I want tomorrow, and that's allowed. Thinking this way has helped me make faster decisions and bigger changes than most people are comfortable with. People cheer you on at the start and the end of the journey, not in the middle. But the middle is where the real work happens. It's lonely, boring, and hard. And that's exactly where the win is earned. At first, people are excited for you because you've lowered your status. They see you as trying something risky. But once you start to succeed, their support becomes conditional on whether you're still below them. If you surpass them, their encouragement might turn into resentment. Real friends cheer for you even when you pass them. Most people don't. You'll outgrow your old circle, but not yet belong to the new one. It's a lonely stretch of the path, but if you stay the course, you get to join the winner's table. And once you're there, it all makes sense in hindsight. What makes the journey so hard is not knowing how it ends. If we knew success was guaranteed, we'd gladly make the trade, but we don't. We roll the dice now and only find out 5 years later if it worked. I'm not great at handling uncertainty. That's why I tend to move slowly and only make decisions when I'm sure. My track record looks low risk, but that's only because I'm cautious to a fault. The best way to tell who your real friends are, see how they react when you win. Most people root for you as long as you don't surpass them. The people who cheer you on even after you succeed, those are rare. Some will shift the game entirely so they can still feel like they're ahead. One of my personal rules: only take advice from people whose dreams for your life are bigger than yours. That's a very short list. In the end, you realize who truly supports you, and that's when the climb gets real.